Hello folks, coming up next is something interesting. What seemed nice when you were a child, but when you grew up turned out to not be so nice? Getting dizzy? We had an uncle who was tall and strong and would spin us around one by one. We couldn't get enough. I remember after my spin, I'd just laugh as I couldn't keep my balance and watch the world spin. Now, I avoid getting dizzy like the plague. There's a reason for this. Little kids absolutely love getting swung and tossed around because it helps them develop their nervous system and motor skills. They grow out of it, which is why most adults don't like the sensation of being dizzy or tossed around. I swam in some bodies of water as a kid that seemed fine, but looking back, adult me would never get in that water. God, I feel this. I cut the webbing between two of my toes open on a clamshell as a kid in an area I would not even get in as an adult for fear I would die of septic shock just touching it. Or picking up rotting horseshoe crabs and chucking them at your friends. All fun and games until someone gets the business end. Piss clams and jellyfish. The armaments of feral children. Money. $5 was like $1 million back then. Now I get paid $2,000 and it's gone in bills right away. True story, $5 could get you from Catskill to NYC in 1996, as long as you were driving a Hyundai Excel. Will a Hyundai PowerPoint suffice? No, the PowerPoint slides too much. The Excel is better at keeping tabs on the numbers for your journey. I used to love to play office and shuffle around papers etc. like I was at a job. Now that I actually do work in an office, not so much fun lol. Yeah, I loved all the office supplies and containers and the display desks AF Office Depot when I was a kid. I always wished I had stuff to organize and put in folders, but now it's all just so mundane. Isn't it weird how we are so excited to organize things when we have nothing that needs organizing, but when we do have stuff that needs organization we see it as a chore? Kinda funny. I guess you need to go back into that mindset, the one where you're surrounded by colorful binders and neatly kept papers. Unlimited ice cream with no one telling me to stop before my stomach hurts. My most adult moment so far, other than getting married, divorced, married again, and having 2 children, is when I decided that I'm an adult, goddammit, and I can buy a chocolate shake and a banana split from Dairy Queen if I want to. I now know my dairy limit. Wait, hold up. You buy both? At the same time? When I was a child I was told that a lot of people would be offering me drugs. Now that I want to try drugs, no one is offering them. Can I interest you in an adult dose of naproxen? Yo man, I got these Bombas medicated cough drops. You want some top shelf Theraflu? A popular girl complimented me on my shoes. My mom had just gotten them for me from Old Navy and I thought they were really cool. Were they really expensive? She asked. Were they like? She dropped her voice, $20? I smiled back, thinking it was cool that she must be responsible enough to buy her own clothes, cause I certainly didn't in grade 7. I nodded and said they were $19.99, yeah. She smiled and walked away, and I was so excited to have been complimented by a person who was not only popular but also a girl, that I wrote about it on my Harry Potter calendar and told my mom that the cool kids liked my shoes. It was earlier this year that I thought back on this nice memory and went wayment. Getting mail. If available, get the delivery notifications for mail. USPS has it. That sends you an email every day of what mail you are getting. That way you can know when it is time to pack the car and head to the woods to avoid those bills. You are an adult. I didn't even know that was a thing. How do you just know things? Being a grown-up. I wish I could shrink down to the time I didn't have constant internal problems. We all do, friend. Those internal struggles don't go away. You just learn how to work with them and understand them. They are a part of you. And that's okay. More people than not needed to be reminded of this, thank you. Earning money. Don't get me wrong, I like earning money just like everyone else. But it sucks that the majority of a paycheck can't be spent on Nerf guns and Legos. My Lego collection would like very much to disagree with you. As a child, I loved looking at the lobsters in the grocery store. I thought they sold them to be pets. Imagine my horror when I found out they are sold to be boiled alive and eaten. Ha! The first thing I would do as a kid was run to the lobster tank and just sit there watching them. So fascinating for a kid with no concept of how awful their fate actually was. Eating fast food and ramen noodles when you want. Gets old pretty quickly. Found this out the hard way at university. Looking back, I think that's one of the reasons why my mental health took a turn for the worst. Studies are finding more and more data to support the idea that the bacteria makeup in your gut is way more important than previously thought. The gut is often referred to as the second brain. Eating a lot of junk food and garbage can certainly contribute to mental illness. Snowstorms, snow angels, and have snowball fights and go sledding and run around the whole goddamn day and come inside and mom has a grilled cheese sandwich and bowl of tomato soup. As an adult, oh fuck, I have to shovel the driveway and the goddamn sidewalk? And then having to reshovel the end of the driveway when the plows come by and cover it up. And if you go out in your car, there's a bunch of crapheads who only scrape the snow off the front windshield and the others who ignore the fact that road conditions aren't suitable for going 80 freaking mile per hour anymore. The nice old man who offered me desserts and candy. You think I'm joking, but I can clearly remember a few times guys would come up and offer me candy or giving me money for dessert and then winking and saying to meet in the parking lot. Was definitely not the smartest kid. Oh god, that's horrific. In some ways, I'm thankful that I was a hideous child with teeth that looked like they'd skin a dick in seconds. I grew up in an extremely religious community that I only later found out had a lot of cult-like features. There were a lot of things that I thought were normal or even kinda great when I was a kid. Turns out television screen isn't actually the devil's device that it uses to enter your body. Holy crap, are we siblings? My mom told my ex that the scary movie she brought over on DVD would open a portal to hell and allow demons to enter her home, so we weren't allowed to watch it. The longer the DVD stays on the house, the stronger it becomes. High heels. It's not that they're not nice, just not practical for my daily life. I always wanted to grow up faster so I could steal some of my mom's really pretty heels. I thought they looked like the prettiest, classiest things and couldn't wait to wear some. Oh, my god, the first time I wore a pair, I about wrecked my knee and twisted my ankle. Never mind the absolute agony my heels were in by the end of the day. F that noise. Staying up all night. I used to want to stay awake all night and play video games. Now if I'm awake past midnight, it takes me 2 or 3 days to recover. I regularly fall asleep between 3 and 4 a.m. Please help my fricked up sleep schedule. Moon shoes. Those frickers almost killed me like 20 times, but I loved them when I was child and was oblivious to just how dangerous they are. Truth, also incredibly embarrassing when I told my whole 3rd grade class I was going to get hover boots for my birthday only to find out they were just effing mini trampolines you strap to your feet. I've shared this story before, but when I was around 10 years old I was sleeping over at my best friend Juan's house. We usually stayed up really late playing and would sleep in until like 11 or 12, which I loved because I rarely got to do that at my house. At about 8 a.m. his dad comes into the room and tells me to get dressed because he needed my help. His dad was a big drinker, so either his breath reeked of beer from last night or he had one for breakfast. Either way, he was a bit buzzed. He tells me he needs my help picking out a toy for Juan as a surprise and we were going to drive to Walmart. So we get in the car and drive down to the Walmart, which was like 10 minutes away from his house. It was a pretty awkward ride and he starts asking me questions to make small talk, like how I was like school and if I had a girlfriend yet. We get to the Walmart and he takes me to the toy section and asks me what I think Juan would like. I walk around and see Darth Vader's TIE fighter. Juan and I were huge Star Wars fans and even went to go see Empire Strikes Back in theaters when it was re-released, so I knew he would like it. He buys the toy and then we have another awkward car ride back. He thanks me for helping and asks me to keep it a secret. I changed into my pajamas again and tried to go back to sleep, but about 10 minutes later his dad comes in and surprises him with the toy and gives me a wink. At the time I thought it was such a nice thing for his dad to do for him, but years later I found that the reason we went on this mission to get the toy was because he had been really drunk a couple of nights before and hit Juan, so he wanted to make it up to him. As far as I know that was the only time that ever happened, but still made the whole thing weirder than it was. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.